Welcome back. My name is Dave, and this is Macaro Siding, my N-scale layout. Today we're going to do putting weights in vehicles, rolling stock, part 2. Last week we did a whole unit train of ore cars. I'm just going to switch over to, I want to switch over, and you can see I've got them running on my test track right now. Been running for about half an hour, and no derailments, everything's fine. The only thing, I have 2 of them that are, if you look at the sort of the middle of the screen, you'll see one car on a little piece of track and it's leaning over. I've got 2 of them that are completely off balance. So I should have probably been a little bit more careful filling them with the fishing weights or with the actual gravel. And I'm going to monkey with those. I've got 2 of them like that. I'm going to monkey with those and see if I can get them to work. But as I said, it's one engine is pulling 16 weighted cars. 16 weighted cars is probably about 16 ounces. And that's one of my bigger diesels that's doing that. I haven't tried it with any of the yard switches or anything, but like I said, it works. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to talk about doing. Sorry, I'm just going to. I got this sitting down here and don't want it in my face. Alrighty, so let's get at her. So what we're going to do is we're going to put weights in cars that don't have spots where they're open and you can just fill them with something and put a weight in them. We're going to do box cars and we're going to do coil cars. Algoma Steel is one of the companies that is serviced by the Huron Central Railroad between Sault Ste. Marie and where Algoma is and the yard in Sudbury. And so lots of times on the siding that's out in front of not right out in front of my house, but about a 5-minute walk away, you'll often see I don't know if that'll focus, but you'll see coil cars like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put weights in this one. I'm going to talk about doing it several different ways, and we're going to do it the simplest because most of you won't have all of the equipment that you can to do this otherwise. So my first thought was that I would make a mold out of silicone. And then that I would put the BBs in the mold and then fill the mold with resin. But that means that you have to go out and buy $50 worth of silicone molding materials and $50 worth of casting materials. So you got $100 and you're only going to make a couple of weights. Well, I mean, I'm crazy, so I'm going to try and make them that way. But I'm not going to demo them because most of you won't have any of the equipment you need to do it. So what do we do? Well, you can, if you do have something that you can make a mold out of, then this is how I would suggest you do it. So, I'm just going to zoom in all the way there and see it. Okay, so again, silicone. One of the neat things about silicone is nothing sticks to it. Nothing. We're going to start with probably the simplest, one of the simplest ways if you're going to use a mold. So I have crystal clear UV resin. I have a UV torch, or torch. You can tell I'm was born in Scotland. I don't say flashlight. Flashlight. And I also have a huge UV lamp sitting behind me here that we're going to use. So how does this work? Well, I'm going to take the resin and I'm going to pour in a bit. Now, when I tried this yesterday, I learned a valuable lesson. Don't fill the whole darn mold up. Just do the bottom of it. I'm going to use a toothpick and sort of redistribute the UV resin. All right. And then I thought I had put, oh, there they are. If you're going to do it this way with the mold and everything, I would suggest buying the heaviest fishing weights that you can. Now, you want to really spend money, you could buy a little melting pot, and which I used to have when I did reloading, because I used to make my own bullets, and I didn't make them out of fishing weights. I was lucky. The gas station near where I lived in a small community out west kept all the lead weights from wheel balancing, and once the bucket was full, they'd give me a shout. I'd go down, I'd pick it up, I'd start melting it, and then make bullets. So here the resin is in there, and I'm going to drop so this is going to take 4 of the larger weights. And now, I'm just going to put that light on there and leave it there for a second or two. So, where did I put that car? Oh, right here. So in the case of the coil car, it's in 2 halves. So this is fairly simple. Now, an even easier way to do this is with a glue gun. And that brainwave came to me yesterday when I was thinking about, well, what's a way that you can do this. 40, 70, 40. Okay. So what you can do, and again, I would suggest that you probably get the heaviest of the. Let's turn this off. See what we got. So now, okay. So I'm going to stick this under my big light and just leave it, because it hasn't set. That flashlight isn't exactly the most powerful UV flashlight you can get. But I got this big lamp over here. So what are we going to do? I'm going to take that. I'm going to turn on the scale. Put it on there. So it weighs 16 ounces. And typically you want around, oh, it's not 16 ounces, it's 16 grams. And you want about 26, 27 grams. So now I'm going to take this off the top. And I'm going to start, now this is an 8. So what do we say, what do we say that? Okay, well, let's do that. We'll put that on there and then we'll get the rate. Okay, so it's 15 grams. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that's 25 grams total. So now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to move something out of the way here, so I got an actual desktop to work on, workspace to work on. So now I'm going to take this, put it over here. I'm going to dump the weights off of it. Grab my glue gun, and right down the middle, and now, 1, 2, okay, it's already gone hard. So I'm not going to squeeze it out anymore. I'm going to try and soften it up here. All right, back on the scale, 25. Let's see if we can get her to 26. 26. So that's about right for that. And that's all you need to do. It's not that difficult. Now, I got to touch this up here. All right, so we have it made up. I'm just putting the cover back on. Come on, snap on, you silly thing. There we go. So there it is with the cover back on. And again, this 25 grams. All right, so that's with a 3D printed coil card. Now, 3D printed boxcar. This is a purchased one, and it weighs 30 grams. This is a printed one that weighs 18 grams. So we need to do the same thing again. We're going to take the, slide that over, slide that over. And I learned my lesson on the last one. We're going to put a bead and not all the way, because by the time I get there it'll have set. So I'm just going to put them, again, I'm trying to put them down the center. Okay, now we want to test this, so 26. So we got space for a couple more, so we're going to go and put a little bit more glue on here. And that's pretty good. 28 is pretty good. So you can see it's not that difficult to do. But you just have to find the right 3D model because it's got to be hollow inside. I have a couple of Boxcars that are solid resin. They weigh a bit. They're pretty good, but this allows for customization. So now I'm going to take the whole thing and there we go, sitting on its wheels at 26 grams. So it's not that difficult to do. There are other ways to do it as well, and I've just got, oh, that's right, that's why I went and bought this. So what I bought was 2 sheets of brass, and I took them to my cutoff saw, and I cut them into little pieces that fit inside the rolling stock. So those 1, 2, 3, 4, what's that, 3, that's 5. Those 5 weigh 11 grams. So again, if you had this particular boxcar that's hollow, you could super glue the brass to the chassis, and then just keep adding more pieces on top. This is just gonna zero out my calipers. It says it didn't do it. There we go. So this is basically 1 millimeter. So you could just stack the 1 millimeter brass on top of each other and do it. It comes covered in a plastic protector. I'm just going to peel it off so you can see that it actually is brass. There's brass. Then I went to my local hardware store, and they sell aluminum for DIY projects. And so I went out and bought one long, I think it's a 4-foot piece. Anyway, these are aluminum, and we're starting to add more weight here. And you could do the same with the aluminum. The aluminum I bought is this stuff. And if I'm right, I think before I started chopping at it, I think it was 36 inches. I'm just putting it on my cutting mat. Well, it's 88. Yeah, 88 centimeters and a bit. So it probably is, or probably was, 3 feet. And again, super glue or glue gun can do the trick for you. Yeah. So that's basically all for today. Let me just we'll bring this back out. There we go. So that's the UV resin with the lead weights in it, and I'm gonna wipe this off of here, and just put that down. and that one is 7 grams. So 2 of these inside a boxcar, that'd be 14 grams plus the original, what was it, 15 or so? So you'd be pretty close to the right weight. I'm just going to put it back underneath because it needs to be cured a little bit more on the other side. So like I say, and of course, you need to have the bogies on these things. So I'm just going to grab, I bought 2 packages of trucks, and they are from Microtrains. Okay. So anyway, there's one truck on like that. Takes nothing to do it, except you have big stupid hands like mine, and it can be a problem. So I want to thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Next week, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. But there will be a video next week. So once again, take care of yourself, take care of your family. And as always, I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye for now.